consistency and changing habits. Let's talk about it. Roll it. Welcome back to another video where we've been exploring this whole idea of consistency and how consistency can help us move in the direction we need to move to find that success we've been looking for. In this video, we're responding to an email from somebody who is working on their career and they're just looking at their habits and they're going, you know what, they ain't changing. Nothing is moving forward. So what do I do? Here's the email. Hi Nikos, my career development has been suffering. I keep saying I will develop skill sets. I found that in some of your videos you talk about habits needing to be changed from bad to good, but what happens when you have bad habits that can't be changed? And I don't believe it's the case that you can't change bad habits into good habits. It's not the case. It's the idea of being able to look at what habits you need improving on and work with those habits in order to improve them. And then we work on these habits to the place where we can take them to. And they'll eventually grow more on their own as we get better at other habits. But the idea is, let's take them to where we can and then have workarounds to achieve what we need to achieve. And this is very, very hard to really see yourself doing in the future until you start working on it and start seeing a series of successes coming into play. The idea is very simple. You work on your limitations and you look at these limitations from perspective of how can I improve the limitations in a series of events, and then start working through those events. As we experience the growth, we understand how our limitations are changing and how our limitations are now starting to not be as a harsh sentence on us and rather something that is getting easier, and that cycle continues again. The goal is to be able to find that honesty inside of us, and then from that find the growth process we need and be accountable for that growth. Be accountable for finding ways to deal and grow. So yes, are there habits we can't fully make into positive habits that are going to change our lives? There are some, but the reality is that we can grow them to the point where they're not as harsh, they're not as bad. The goal has to be that we get better in everything we do. A lot of people always ask me, well, you know, how do you get through this? How do you get through that? Or how did you? And the response is very simple. I grew to understand the limitations I was faced with and the habits that were supporting those limitations. I grew through understanding. And by understanding these areas, I was able to jump through it. And this is what I share with people. And when I'm talking with people who are finding difficulties and I walk them through this process, well, they're able to start understanding themselves more and in turn finding ways for themselves to become better at those things they want to become better at. And yes, every person is different, and yes, every person takes their own road to the success on their own time. No two people are alike. And if you're sitting there going, why can't I have it now? You're putting yourself in a dangerous position where your expectations are too high, and all of a sudden you'll feel that slap in the face from life, because that's what will happen. And if your expectations are too high and that does happen, well, then your fall or your few steps backwards as supposed to be, well, they turn into big several or many steps backwards, and then you gotta work 10 times harder to get back to where you want to be. Really understand that going through this idea of consistency and being consistent on everything you're trying to achieve, it's starting off at small growth and gradually increasing it. It's being able to say, hey, I will work on a few things to get me to where I need to be, and I will reanalyze in a few weeks. Do I need to make improvements? Do I need to make changes? Do I need to increase the intensity? What do I exactly need to do? And then do that for another couple weeks. Then continue to do that over and over until you start moving in that direction you want to be. Consistency is critical, and this is the whole series. It's about understanding consistency, understanding limitations, expectations, of course, that accountability part. All of this will bring the motivation we need to find the success we're looking for. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Of course, hit the subscribe button to get your daily motivational idea to get you moving in the right direction. And of course, leave your comment. Leave your story below. What do you think? What has worked for you? What hasn't? What are some changes you're looking to make? Leave your comment below, and who knows, somebody might read that story and you might help change a life.